and Missouri. When Larry Smith arrived at Missouri, he wanted them back in the postseason. 4 years later, they have arrived. The Missouri Tigers' march to San Diego has been led by junior quarterback Corby Jones. He's the Big 12 leader in total offense, and he's already Heisman material in '98. The Colorado State Rams ran through the WAC with two big backs. Kevin McDougal and Damon Washington both averaged close to 100 a game. Colorado State, the champions of the WAC. Missouri, the darlings of the Big 12. The Plymouth Holiday Bowl, it's next. Qualcomm Stadium, always a great stage for what is always an entertaining bowl game. It's the Plymouth Holiday Bowl, the 20th annual Plymouth Holiday Bowl. Our matchup tonight from the WAC, the Colorado State Rams at number 17. From the Big 12, the Tigers of Missouri at number 20. You saw Larry Smith, Colorado State head coach Sonny Lubick is hard as work right now as well.
Play reckless out there. Defensively, swarm to the football. You're number one in the country with turnovers because you swarm. Knock that son of a bitch loose. Defensively, just keep doing the things you've done all year, pursuing the football. Special teams, you can win this game for us. Come up big on special teams. Take the pride in that you've done all your lives. Let's get after it. Anthony, keep that team going up there. Keep that offensive line moving. Let's see these guys. They want to see how physical football's played. We'll show them. So we're ready to go in about. You're ready to go in about 2 minutes. Then we take that. Take it with pride. We got some time there.
Hi everyone, Rich Waltz, Rod Gilmore, welcome to San Diego. I know you're ready to hit somebody. Sonny Lubick was very emotional when he talked to us 2 days ago as well. He said big game obviously for us and big game for the conference.
Hey, he's telling those guys to get physical. He wants to get after him right now. He wants Colorado State to get some national respectability, and he wants the WAC to get it too. They've lost bowl games already twice. Colorado State is a last chance.
Missouri got some respectability and national attention the hard way. Remember the kick against Nebraska? This is a very good football team. One reason why, their quarterback. He's outstanding, Corby Jones.
Yeah, you can turn a program around when you have a great player like Corby Jones. Great option quarterback, great running quarterback, great throwing quarterback. He can get it done inside or out. He's about 227 pounds and a real load when he's in the open field. Rich, he can make plays all over the field. He could be the difference in the ball game.
When Sonny Lubick needs plays in his backfield, he's got two guys to choose from, Kevin McDougal and Damon Washington. They both can go for 100 in the same game.
Yeah, well, they both have gone over 1,000 yards rushing this season. Mr. Inside, Mr. Outside. Damon Washington, Mr. Outside. Speed, quickness, and great vision. McDougal, inside, strength, toughness, great versatility. He can get it done for him as well.
Talking about the backfield of Colorado State, the man that pulls the trigger is Moses Moreno, outstanding quarterback, and there's certainly a legacy of that here in the Holiday Bowl. One big question about Moreno, who threw for 20 touchdown passes this year, his right elbow, the Bursar sack. I know it's not the most famous one in college football. Peyton Manning's got one on his knee. Moreno's right elbow may give him problems. For a report, here's Chris Marlowe.
All right, Rich, ruptured bursa sac or not, Moses does indeed have a sore elbow. Now, he first hurt that elbow in the San Diego State game. A week later in the WAC championship, he banged it hard again. It swelled up to the size of a baseball. He could barely throw, and he suffered through the worst game of his season. Now, tonight, all Moses needs is a little protection. He was thinking about wearing this pad. He decided not to. He is going to let his offensive line try to keep him upright. Now, the other story we're following tonight, Missouri's Brian Craycraft. He broke his leg November 8th against Nebraska, and when he is healthy, he is Missouri's best defensive lineman. But you see him right there. He is running in pain. The key for Craycraft, he is a run stopper. Missouri has problems stopping the run. If he can play 50% of the stops, or the snaps tonight, I should say, Missouri will be in business. Back to you.
Sonny Lubick leading his Colorado State Rams on the field, champions of the WAC. They've been here twice in the last 3 years. They have yet to get a win. They want to stop that tonight. In their sights, the Missouri Tigers, led by Larry Smith of the Big 12 Conference. It's the Plymouth Holiday Bowl. The Tigers of Missouri come in at number 20. Colorado State at number 17. 19 previous Holiday Bowls, 12 have been decided by a touchdown or less. We demand no less tonight.
Dad had the lift master, man.
Plymouth Holiday Bowl is brought to you by Janus No Load Mutual Funds.
Jack Murphy Field at Qualcomm Stadium, home of the Plymouth Holiday Bowl, as Colorado State gets set to meet the Missouri Tigers. A good crowd on hand. Sonny Lubick is here in just his 5th year, 3 WAC titles. His Rams come in at 10-2. No Colorado State team has ever won 11 football games. He'd like to add that notch to his belt. Larry Smith has done it in a lot of places. This is his 4th team into a bowl game. Only 3 other coaches in history have done that. This year, a breakthrough year at 7-4, 5-3, 3rd in the Northern Division of the Big 12 Conference. Missouri won the toss and elected to kick. Scott Nickman will kick it off. Darren Hall, Kevin McDougal are deep. And the 20th annual Holiday Bowl is just underway. It is traditionally a bowl game that has delighted with its fantastic finishes.
And as you've been telling me all week, we're going to get that tonight. Both these teams put up a lot of points. It'll be entertaining.
Nickman's kick, and it's Hall. Darren Hall across the 25 and out to the 27-yard line. Flag down as we look at Moses Moreno, senior, and a good one. 20 touchdowns this year, 9 interceptions, and Missouri will watch Colorado State backed up on their first possession, holding against the Rams.
On the receiving team.
Starting lineups for Colorado State. Damon Washington averaging 93 yards per game. He's had some big games throughout. He'll rotate with Kevin McDougal. Eli Workman, a very good tight end, 18 catches and 2 touchdowns. And a great offensive line as well. We're ready to go. Moses Moreno at the controls. Derek Ewell in a 2 tight end set with Eli Workman. And Moreno's going to put it up. Swings it out to Kevin McDougal across the 20. McDougal falls to the 27-yard line. And he's got a first down, a gain of about 12. I told you about the offensive line. 30 sacks this year. Anthony Cesario, one of the best in the WAC, first team pick. Cesario and center Mike Newell have not given up a sack this year.
Rich, you noticed right off the bat the 2 tight end set was out there. But what they did was they forced them to put more guys to the 2 tight end set. And they came back and ran the screen pass to the weak side where there were fewer players. McDougal did a nice job finishing it off.
Both McDougal and Washington, the 2 backs, can catch the football. And McDougal can lay a lick on you, too, as he's across the 30 out to the 32-yard line. Colorado State has a big defense. Missouri does not. That might be a factor tonight. It's a Missouri defense that does not put pressure on the passer. Steve Erickson gets the start in place of Brian Craycraft, as you heard Chris Marlowe talk about Craycraft's legs. Just 17 sacks for this unit. Al Sterling is in the middle. He's a junior. He's a converted nose tackle. A secondary that has 14 interceptions. Harold Pearsley has 5, 4 in his last 4 games. There's a look at Erickson. McDougal again. Across the 40, and McDougal is across the 45 to the 47-yard line. Rod Gilmore, you heard Sonny Lubick talk about it. Very important to establish his physical presence up front.
Hey, this is about answering a question. Is the WAC team tough enough to hang with a Big 12 team? And that's why they're coming out right now, putting big bodies on smaller bodies and pounding away at them. McDougal heads upfield, and he's lowering the shoulder. He's taking on people. Sonny Lubick said be physical, and they're coming out trying to be that way.
McDougal had an absolutely huge game in the WAC championship. Moreno on play action. Swings it out to Eli Workman, the tight end, and it's incomplete. One thing, Rod, we should address early on, and that's the layoff that these 2 teams have had. For the Missouri Tigers, their last football game was November 15th. They beat Baylor. Colorado State has played 2 football games since that date.
So you would expect that Colorado State would be a little bit more crisp than Missouri. They played in the WAC championship just 3 weeks ago, so they should be fresher, more accustomed to the hitting, and ready to go after it, and they are starting out that way.
Moreno had an outstanding year, completed 61% of his passes. Jeff Turner in motion, and it's Turner who has the football at the 42. Close to midfield, a gain of maybe 3. Harold Pearsley made the stop. Significant that Jeff Turner is in the football game.
Well, there was a question as to whether he was going to play because he has a bad knee, and you see he's limping off the field right now. He was their leading receiver this season, and they wanted to find out right away if he'd be able to play.
And it looks like, as he limps off, that knee is bothering him. There are a couple of Rams that are dinged up in this one. Missouri comes in very healthy. 3rd down, 7. There's a look at Turner, one of the emotional leaders on this football team. Moreno's throw is caught. Paul Turner with the catch, very close to a 1st down.
Well, Missouri plays a lot of man-to-man coverage. Colorado State expects to be able to beat the man coverage with Turner and others. And this time, just a quick short route. You see the man-to-man coverage right up in the face of the receivers. Turner, number 5, works inside against Chris and makes the reception. A little bit strange there for Colorado State to have 2 receivers in the same area, but Paul Turner, the senior from San Diego, was able to work his way inside and pick up what looks like a 1st down.
1st down, Colorado State. Initial drive of this football game. Moreno really spreads it around. Sonny Lubbock's offense is an interesting hybrid of the spread offense. A 3-receiver set, but they run the ball first.
Right. If you've seen Washington State and teams like that, they spread you out and they throw the ball. Well, Colorado State spreads you out, but the power game is what they're going to give you. Paul Turner will make some catches, 21 on the season, but it's the power game that is the bread and butter for Colorado State.
Moreno's other 2 targets on the outside, Darren Hall and Corey McCoy, also have 21 catches. It's a very balanced offensive attack, and it's something that's been missing for Colorado State in their 2 other Holiday Bowl trips. McDougal over the right side, and he's hit hard. He'll gain maybe a yard. Brod, this defense for Missouri, Kevin Ford making the stop, bends, doesn't break.
No, but they're going to have to stop this play. The old counter tray is going to come around in here. They've got to be able to attack that thing and hit it behind the line of scrimmage. They do a good job this time of getting into the backfield and hitting the linemen before they can turn upfield. Missouri is smaller, but they're quick. So if they do that, they can stop that play.
19th in the nation against the run, and that was a real concern for Mo Ankney, their defensive coordinator, as well as Larry Smith. Little option look for Moreno. Pitch to McDougal, and he's outside, and McDougal is inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. Last year, he played both offense and defense. They kept him on offense all year long, and it paid off.
Well, the key for Colorado State is Eric Bailey and Anthony Cesario, 71 and 72. When they get out front and lead a play, they do a great job. There you see Bailey with a nice block. McDougal further outside, picking up good yardage. But those 2 big guys on the right side are the key for the offensive line for Colorado State.
Almost 4 minutes into this drive, 8 plays. McDougal and his offensive line have been a big part of it. Bailey, a senior, at 295. 3rd down, short. McDougal on a play that really stuttered from the start might just have the 1st down.
Well, they came again with the counter tray play, the one that was stopped a few plays ago. You come back with it, they may have picked up the 1st down here, but the thing that is really good to note is that Colorado State is really trying to be physical. Again, you will see them again, come again with the counter tray. They run it the other way this time. You see the guard, tackle action, pulling, getting in front of McDougal. Once again, though, Missouri does a good job of getting up the field. Ford is in there to make the play. But, Rich, the WAC has a reputation of being a soft, pass-happy conference. Sonny Lubick wants to send a message to the country that they play physical football out here.
This is not a WAC team that our mommies and daddies told us about.
It's a different kind of WAC.
In the tradition of the Holiday Bowl, the Jim McMahons, the wide-open offense of BYU, Sonny Lubick and the Rams are an outstanding team on the ground. 220 yards per game. McDougal already has 30 in this one. Shotgun look from Moreno. Moses with time, swings it out, got a man. It's Corey McCoy, the junior.
And Rich, you see how the running game gives you the ability to have time to throw the ball. Moreno has plenty of time to get this ball to McCoy. Watch how he has protection and see if this ball is a nicely thrown ball. Does his elbow bother him? Doesn't appear so. He's comfortable. He's sitting in the pocket. Not a real nice follow through there, but nevertheless, plenty of time to get that ball out to McCoy. No one around him. McCoy does a nice job of picking up the first down.
Damon Washington in the backfield. In motion is Workman on 1st and 10, and it's Washington who has excellent speed on the outside. He's inside the 20, out of bounds at the 19-yard line. Damon Washington 4 times this year was over 100 yards. His biggest game 188. And Sonny Lubick told us 2 days ago he'll go to either one, Damon Washington or Kevin McDougal. They're close to averaging combined 200 a game.
Well, I mean, these guys have done a great job. McDougal was the guy who was the star in the WAC Conference Championship game against New Mexico with 255 yards. But Washington is the guy who really can turn it up a notch.
McDougal is back behind Moreno. And he'll get it straight up the gut inside the 15. And it takes 6 Tigers to bring him down. He's short of the first down. It'll be 3rd down and 3. Last year, 2 backs over 1,000 yards. This year, 2 backs over 1,000 yards. That's quite an accomplishment.
Well, you see what Branch did for them last year before moving on to the NFL and the Raiders. Washington has done it 2 years in a row. McDougal, well, he'll have a chance to do it even more. He's a guy that's been a 2-way player for them. Initially a defensive back, they moved him over with great results.
Colorado State apparently was listening when Sonny Lubick told them before the football game, if they want physical football, we'll show them. They have muscled their way inside the 15. Little reverse action. Darren Hall, it's Hall, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Colorado State. 14 yards, and the Rams are on the board first.
You saw how that counter Trey action was leading the run. Well, they give the same action this time, but they come back with the reverse that time back around. That allows them to get the touchdown.
Watch the end of the play as Hall goes down.
Darren Hall, celebration with his teammates, winds up heading back down here at the end. He's hurt there, and he's trying to get down to the ground, and his teammates are holding him up.
Looked like he was clutching either his left shoulder or his left side.
Yeah, it looked like the rib area.
Hall, the sophomore, it's a sweet place to be for him. Qualcomm Stadium. He's a San Diego kid. And a 14-yard touchdown, and he appears to be all right. And Sonny Lubick's Rams have a 6-0 lead.
And what a nice drive. Great play calling, finishing it off with a play that comes off of plays they had been running earlier in the drive.
Ryan Esslinger will hold it. Derek Franz will kick it. And impressively, Colorado State, champions of the WAC, have come out and put 7 on the board in the Plymouth Holiday Bowl.
The Plymouth Holiday Bowl is presented by Plymouth. More fun, more car. That's Plymouth. And in part by San Diego. Call 1-800-701-WAVE for a free visitor's planning guide.
Qualcomm Stadium, home of the Plymouth Holiday Bowl. Colorado State on top of Missouri. Only one possession in the football game so far. C.W. Hurst will kick it off for Colorado State. And a short kick which is fielded, and out of bounds it goes at the 22.
Let's go back to that touchdown and watch what happens here. You're going to get this action again, which we've seen before, and then they come back with the reverse behind it. That was the play they ran earlier in the drive to pick up ground yardage. Now they come back with the reverse. It fools Missouri. Hall gets into the end zone, but takes a shot at the end from Chris and Perkins. And it's a big hit at the end that knocks the wind out of him. From this angle, you can see it, Rich. Watch what happens at the end of the play. Hall is going to get sandwiched by two cornerbacks, Chris and Hall. Watch them as they show up with the hit. Right now, as he comes through, bang, bang. Two shots, knocks the wind out of him, but Hall is now okay.
The moral of this story, don't let up until you're safely to the sideline. Corby Jones to the air, has his man. It's Kent Lehman who can't hold on. And it's incomplete. A look at Corby Jones. Our first look at Chris Marlowe. Chris?
All right, Rich, you gave it away. He did have the wind knocked out of him, but he's got a sore rib to go with it now. He's okay. He'll be back in when the Rams get the ball back on offense.
Darren Hall, the first touchdown of the ball game. And now our attention turns to the Missouri Tigers and their offense. And a well-oiled machine it's been. Corby Jones, the junior. He has beaten teams with his legs and with his right arm. And it's Jones who lost the football. And Colorado State has it. In 11 games, Missouri had just 14 turnovers all year long. And in the second play tonight, they've already got one.
Well, they're playing a team that comes in with a plus 27 turnover margin. And they get another one here. Watch the hit at the end on Corby Jones. He's just trying to pick up a little extra yardage, and he takes a shot right at the end from Taylor. Willie Taylor makes the hit, and that makes the ball come out. And Corby Jones has done a great job of protecting the football this season, but he never saw that hit coming this time. Came from the backside, had the ball up, and Taylor knocked it out.
Rick Kroll with the recovery. He was very close to being down. And now Colorado State back in business. Moreno going deep. Got a man. Incomplete. And I guess Darren Hall's ribs are okay. He made a nice effort.
And Shad Chris was okay too. That was pretty good coverage out there. There was never any separation between Hall and Chris. Watch how Chris stays with him at the end. He never lets Hall separate. That's great speed by Chris. When you have a corner that can close like that, you've got yourself a real prospect, which he is.
Colorado State defense. And a look at Brian Craigcraft, who's in the football game. Inside handoff, McDougal is smothered. Al Sterling with help from Justin Wyatt.
Rich, we saw Craycraft in the ball game. He broke the fibula in his leg, which doesn't bear the most weight on the body, but they say he's healthy enough to play, but he's having a lot of pain, and you can see he is still limping, and he's still trying to play through it. They want to play him early to see if he can work his way through it.
Fourth third down opportunity for the Rams. They've converted all three. On 3rd and 10, McDougal slips, and down he goes. We were talking about turnovers. Both of these teams made that a big part of their resume here in '97. Colorado State just 13. Missouri 15.
Yeah, there's Colorado State only 13. Missouri down here.
And that includes the fumble by Corby Jones tonight.
Yeah. And when you don't turn the ball over, you have the best chance of winning football games. And that's why both these teams are in this bowl game.
Austin Lowe's to punt. And a good one, but the Rams can't cover it. And Missouri will get their second opportunity to move the football. A 39-yard punt. Colorado State on top of Missouri. From above, courtesy of the Goodyear Blimp Eagle, based in Carson, California. The Goodyear Blimp began covering football back in 1962. Which bowl, Rod Gilmore, did they start with?
I don't know, but we have a blimp. That's great, you know.
The Orange Bowl back in '62.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, we got a blimp here, man. The Goodyear blimp.
Second possession now for the Tigers. And it's the big fullback, Ernest Blackwell. Straight ahead. Let's look at the offense of this Tiger team. 420 yards per game, 263 of it on the ground. We told you about Corby Jones. Brock Oliva is the blood and the guts of this Tiger team. Olivo, 67 yards per game and 11 touchdowns. Kent Lehman, a big play guy, 25 yards per catch. That led the Big 12 Conference. An offensive line that's given up just 19 sacks. Rod Riddy, they say, is a future star, just a sophomore. And Mike Morris right next to him, making his 40th straight start on the offensive line. 2nd and 7. Jones. Blackwell. Tough man to bring down. He's across the 25. They'll be short of the first down. Colorado State's defense outstanding, just 327 yards per game, and they get to the quarterback. 34 sacks on the season. Clark Higgins gets there the most, 11 sacks for the sophomore out of Torrance. Willie Taylor in the middle, the junior with 2 picks, a very active linebacking crew for defensive coordinator Larry Kerr. And Myron Terry has 6 of 18 Colorado State interceptions this year. Down 5. The pitch is to Devin West. He's got the first down. Myron Terry made the stop. And the Tigers move the sticks.
Well, you know, Colorado State comes in here with the plan of taking the ball away from Corby Jones. Make him pitch it. Well, that's okay, except when you pitch it to Devin West and he makes a play like this, it kind of makes you rethink that strategy. Corby Jones is going to give up the ball quickly here, but Devin West is 215 pounds and has great speed. And when he lowers his shoulders, he can pick up the extra yardage, and he did it right there. So the plan is good, but you got to follow through and make sure Devin West doesn't get it done too.
West again across the 40, brought down by Willie Taylor. You normally hear this in a passing offense, Rod, but there sometimes aren't enough footballs for Larry Smith to go around offensively.
Yeah, but if you're a defensive back, you got to make sure that you stay on your feet and that you can make some plays. And Myron Terry right here is going to find out that that's a little bit tough to do when you get guys on top of you. He's going to come up to try and make a play. He just gets hit right here. Watch, bang. You got to be a hitter. You can't be the hittee. And Myron Terry was taking it that time.
There are a lot of hitters in the Missouri backfield, including this man, Corby Jones, who has hit a big one here inside the 30s down to the 25-yard line. 33-yard pickup.
Well, when you get the quarterback coming down the line on the option, you always assign somebody to him. You got to make sure that you get there. It looks like this time they wanted the free safety to get there and take care of the quarterback. Myron Terry doesn't look like he gets there. He's coming over. Here comes the quarterback now. Corby Jones up in the lane. Terry's late getting over. Hard to make that play. Corby Jones can make you pay if you do not account for him on each and every play. And that time, Corby Jones got the offense going big time. And Rich, as good as advertised, we've got a wide open game.
Jones has his man. It's Eddie Brooks, his tight end. First down, Missouri. Eason Ramson on the stop.
Well, when Corby Jones makes a play on the ground, he gains confidence. And that's when you want him to throw the ball, when he's confident. Well, he does it here. Over pursuit once again by Colorado State. They're trying to contain Corby Jones, so they make sure that they keep him in the pocket, but they don't get pressure up the middle on him.
Devin West and Willie Taylor was there to hit him.
And I can tell you one thing that Colorado State is thinking right now is Corby Jones on the option. And Larry Smith is probably thinking, you know, that's not a bad thing to do down here. I want my best player to have the ball. And Corby Jones is his best player. He's 227 pounds, and he makes good decisions.
Jones's decision this time to keep it inside the 5 down to the 3. 3rd down. Missouri can get a first down inside the 1.
And see, when you have a guy that is that good, you can know what the play is, but he still makes you pay for it. Now watch Corby Jones here. We talked about decisions. Well, what about athletic ability? Right now he says, it's not there. Let me go back the other way. He changed, stops on the dime, makes the play, and picks up something when there was nothing there.
Flags down. There was time on the play clock.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
A Big Ten officiating crew tonight.
Big Ten or wherever, you can certainly tell when there's movement, and it's right up there. You see it looks like it was a tight end up top. Stuvey was the guy that moved, number 88. Jake Stuvey, the big tight end, who's been a great blocker for Missouri all season long. Now this makes it a tough passing situation, Rich. There's not a lot of room for receivers to work down there, only about 18 yards.
Colorado State scored on almost a 6-minute drive, and Missouri has run some clock as they've moved the football in this one. On 3rd down. Jones is hit, and down he goes. Jamie Bennett, who's just a freshman with a big hit.
And actually, there was pretty good protection by Missouri. They just didn't have enough time to get receivers open. We talked about how everything is condensed down there. Initially, Corby Jones has time. Good pocket. He pulls it down because no one's open. That gives Bennett time to come in and make the hit.
Ryan Douglas, the holder, and the kick from Scott Nickman is good. Missouri is on the board. The Tigers trail Colorado State in the Plymouth Holiday Bowl. Colorado State 7, Missouri 3. Minute and a half left, first quarter. Rich Waltz, Rod Gilmore, Chris Marlowe.
You want to do the fun activities one, what they do? Yeah.
In San Diego. And Scott Nickman, whose field goal has put Missouri on the board, will kick it off. Very accurate field goal kicker. Hit on 11 of 13 throughout the season.
You get a Holiday Bowl, you get a fantastic start.
Kevin McDougal, maybe the largest kickoff returner in the country, is out across the 20 to the 23-yard line. ESPN continues its bowl week coverage tomorrow at 8. Number 24 Oklahoma State, number 16 Purdue, the Boilermakers, the Cowboys in the Builder Square Alamo Bowl. Tune into ESPN tomorrow for all the bowl week excitement. Here in the Plymouth Holiday Bowl, both teams with impressive drives. Colorado State, almost a 6-minute drive. And you can see Missouri's drive there, over 5 minutes. Moreno gives to Washington. Across the 25 to the 26, down to the sidelines, Chris Marlowe.
All right, Rich, what did the teams do this week when they weren't practicing football? Let me give you the quick rundown. Barbecues, they went to the beach. They had lunch on an aircraft carrier. They went to the zoo. They went to Disneyland and SeaWorld. And by the way, I asked Larry Smith, who went to SeaWorld and the zoo, which did he like better? And Larry Smith told me, Chris, I'm a zoo man. I'm an old-fashioned kind of guy that likes lions and tigers. Back to you.
And Bears. 7-3 football game. Moreno's quick pop caught. Dallas Davis with the catch. And it's a first down.
A nice job by Moreno and a nice route by the tight end. It takes the coverage away. Moreno looks to the right, makes the play, but he has good help when his tight end comes down under here, and that pulls the linebacker 39 out of the way. You'll see there'll be someone crossing his face, and that opens up the area over there. And it looked like it was Odom, 39, who was unable to get in the throwing lane.
Damon Washington out across the 45. He has another Colorado State first down. Flags down.
There is no flag on the play.
Larry Smith, his fourth year.
How often does that happen? You get a flag and it gets waved off. Usually the holding is called just on general principle.
They'll measure for the first down. We're talking about Larry Smith. 21st year overall, 6 years at USC, went to 3 Rose Bowls with the Trojans, 7 years at Arizona, 4 years at Tulane. Has brought his 4th team to a postseason bowl game.
Well, and I think a lot of people are happy for Larry Smith that he's gotten this thing turned around in Missouri. Remember, he was at USC for 6 years, went to Rose Bowls his first 3 years, last 3 seasons, 17, 17, and 2, and then was unceremoniously dumped by USC. And there you see what he's done. And he's only one of 4 coaches to have taken 4 different teams to bowl games. Lou Holtz did it, Earl Bruce, and Bill Mallory. Larry Smith has a formula that works for turning programs around.
Short of the first down. It's McDougal, and he's crunched. Al Sterling and Marquise Gibson, the first 2 to hit him. It'll bring up 3rd down and short. First quarter in the books. The Rams by 4. 7-3, Colorado State on top at Qualcomm Stadium. They still do call it Jack Murphy Field. So if you want to use the Murph, you can. 3rd down short for Colorado State. Derek Ewell in motion. It's McDougal, who needs 1.5 yards, and I think he has it. First down, Colorado State. Some key plays in the first quarter.
Well, pretty much Colorado State getting it done. Counter play and then the reverse off of it. Darren Hall getting the touchdown to put Colorado State up 7-0. And then on the other side of the ball, they handled Corby Jones down inside the 20 to make sure he wasn't able to get into the end zone. 7-3, Colorado State.
And at 1st and 10, just short of midfield. It's Washington, who slides through to the 46-yard line.
Now, one of the problems for Missouri is that they're pretty small defensively, particularly at the ends and the linebackers. Marquise Gibson, number 9, is only about 218 pounds, and he's down as a lineman. And you see how he gets handled on the line of scrimmage? If he can't stay in there and handle the lineman, they're going to have to find a way to give him some support because he's only 218 pounds.
He's a better hitter than Marquise Grissom.
I don't know. Marquise can hit that ball a little bit.
In the football sense.
Yes.
Moreno with time, and it's broken up. He was looking for Paul Turner. Wade Perkins, the junior out of Las Vegas, made the play.
Yeah, and what everybody likes about Moreno is his ability to stand in and be a tough quarterback. And he knew he was going to get hit on that play, and he just stood there and took the shots. And quarterbacks at this level and at the next level have got to be able to stand in and take the punishment. He knows it's coming, and he gets it from two guys, but he hangs in there nevertheless.
You heard Chris Marlowe say earlier, though, that right elbow, very tender. So far, so good. Not so good in the WAC championship game. It hurt him so much they had to stop throwing the ball. Moreno fires this one and has his man, Dallas Davis, with the catch. First down, Colorado State. Same pattern, Rod, and they beat Wade Perkins, the man that made the play.
Well, nothing but a three-deep zone coverage here, and when you're able to get that and run off of it, you can do something with it. Here you see three-deep coverage here. Just take down and run outside. You get good pass protection, you can deliver the ball. You see them dropping back, three-deep coverage, just run the out pattern. There's nobody underneath the receiver, plenty of room to make the throw.
First and 10. Colorado State has dominated the football so far. Washington to the 30. It's a gain of 2.
And I think Missouri is a little bit surprised by that. And Colorado State is doing exactly what Sonny Lubick said at the outset. Be physical. They're trying to establish that the WAC is a tough conference. They play hard-nosed football, and that's exactly what Colorado State is doing right now.
For all the memories in this football game surrounding the WAC conference, the WAC has struggled in this game. Since 1986, the Western Athletic Conference has won just twice here in the Holiday Bowl. BYU in 91, and the last time they won in 92, the Rainbows of Hawaii. Sonny Lubick has been here twice. Lost to Kansas State and to Michigan. Moreno on second down. He's hit and drilled by Marquise Gibson.
You're right. He is a better hitter than Marquise Grissom. But that's his game right there. Speed. And Moreno is down.
And a real concern for Colorado State, although it doesn't look like they're looking at the right elbow.
Yeah, Moses Moreno was down that time. He took a big shot from Marquise Gibson. And we told you about him being a tough guy. Even tough guys get hurt from time to time.
Another look.
Well, Gibson, 220 pounds. He was a JC top pass rushing specialist. He uses his speed and quickness to blow right by the tackle and to get there. I mean, when you can come around the tackle that quickly, you've got a chance. You see that there was nobody who was going to help out that time. Damon Washington, number 20, was looking to get out on a screen pass, and he never, ever saw the guy coming.
Ryan Esslinger will come in and play quarterback. Moreno has had a good night so far, 6 of 9 on the sidelines for now. Esslinger has attempted just 18 passes this year, but he's hit on 13 of them. He's a junior out of Pueblo, Colorado. Option look, Washington. And look who made the play. Marquise Gibson again.
And that's his game. But you know, he put this man on the sideline by delivering a big hit. He must have been using a Louisville slugger.
Moreno a look in real time at Moses going down. You know, that's significant for Missouri, Rod. They had just 17 sacks this year in 11 games. That's not a whole lot, and not a good kick. Preston Lowe's gets a nice bounce, and it will roll down to about the 11-yard line. Moses Moreno trying to get his senses back. Colorado State on top, 7-3. A gorgeous night in San Diego for the Plymouth Holiday Bowl.
The Plymouth Holiday Bowl is presented by Plymouth. More fun, more car. That's Plymouth. and in part by San Diego. Call 1-800-701-WAVE for a free visitor's planning guide.
As they work on the right hand of Moses Moreno, the Colorado State defense now trying to keep Missouri inside the 10-yard line. Ernest Blackwell to the 12. And it's a gain of maybe a yard. What's up with Moses Moreno, Chris Marlowe?
All right, he got blasted by the big hit. The trainer tells me he's sore and beat up, but he is going to come back in the next series. So count on Moses Moreno to be back out when the offense takes the field. Back to you.
Thanks, Chris.
That's going to be something worth watching, because you mentioned the elbow problem he came in with, and if he starts taking a pounding on the rest of his body, they may wind up doing what they did a couple weeks ago, which was give up on throwing the ball and just run it all day.
They did that against New Mexico, and boy, did they run it all day, and with a lot of success. That was in the WAC championship game. Corby Jones trying to get the Tigers untracked, and Jones is stopped at the 14-yard line. A bunch of Rams there to get him. Myron Terry, Greg Pollard at the bottom of the pile.
Well, the thing is, they're so fast right now. Colorado State, their linebackers flow so quickly that Corby Jones is not getting to the corner. And they're doing a real good job of handling the end and making sure he can't turn it upfield. Corby Jones is probably going to have to wind up looking at running the counter, get them flowing one way and then come back the other way to try and take advantage of the speed of the linebackers of Colorado State.
1 of 2 tonight on third down. We haven't called Brock Olivo's number yet. He's in the backfield behind James. Jones to the sidelines, and it's broken up by Eric Olson.
And Olsen saw that coming a mile away. And the reason he saw it, Rich, is that they only had one receiver out on the pattern. And with one receiver out, there was no threat inside. And so Olsen knew that he could come up and help right away. Little double coverage there. He's coming over now. He knows that's the only receiver he has to be concerned about, and he just drives the football. Would have helped out Jones if the receiver had worked back to the ball a little bit.
Torrey Coleman, the intended receiver. Vince Sebo, sans shoe. A problem area for Missouri this year, averaging just 39 a kick. But this one is a missile. My goodness. Inside the 25, no problem there. 62 yards for the sophomore. Moses Moreno ready to answer the call. Colorado State on top of Missouri.
National Car Rental Bowl Week continues as Clemson battles Auburn in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Clemson-Auburn, Friday at 3 on ESPN.
One thing we gotta do, Brian, is cover 3.
That color 58 yards. And he continues to throw the ball well. Paul Turner with the catch.
Well, heck, if you're going to put him in the ball game, you might as well find out right away if he can play. See if he can throw the ball. Well, he comes in and he fires a dart, picks up another first down. We talked about how tough this guy is. He's an accurate quarterback, and he's tough again. He's just been knocked around. He comes right back in and fires a dart. A dart right out there, but he looked like it hurt him a little bit. You see the end there, he kind of closed his eyes and looked down. I think he's having a little bit of pain.
Sonny Lubick watching this measurement. Turner very close to the first down. 5th year for Lubick. And talk about making an impression early on. His 3rd WAC title this year, 94, 95, and here in 97. Was an assistant defensive coordinator at Miami for Dennis Erickson before he came to Colorado State.
He knows about defense, but Missouri has established some goals for themselves as well to try and contain Colorado State and other opponents. One of the things that we knew they wanted to do was try and hold Colorado State to about 3.3 yards a carry. They haven't quite done that tonight, but they're getting better at it. It's been about 3.6 yards a carry so far.
2nd and very short. Kevin McDougal, the lone setback. And straight ahead he goes for a first down. Tough running by Kevin McDougal. First down, Colorado State.
Oh, we started talking about the Missouri goals, where here they are. They want to make sure they don't give up any drives over 12 plays. Third down percentage, they want to keep it to 33% or less. Defensive coordinator Mo Ankney has established this. He also wants to get a turnover within the 30-yard line and also control the sudden change. Win the sudden change. Sudden change means it's a change in momentum. You have a turnover, you got to go out there and stop them. And that's what they did to Colorado State in the first quarter.
You saw that on the top of the list. No drives over 12 plays. First drive, 13 plays, 85 yards. It was a Colorado State touchdown. Moreno's in trouble, stays on his feet, and wisely goes down with a slide across the 35-yard line. Cauldron off Easter made the stop.
But Mo Ankney has to be pleased with the way that his defense is playing right now. It's undersized, they know that, but they're fast, they're quick, they can make plays, they put enough pressure to keep Moreno kind of under control. And right now, you see a nice job of Erickson just fighting through the block of Bailey to get there and almost make the sack. It's effort like that that they're going to need to keep pressure on Moreno.
Second and 11. Damon Washington tripped up. Barry Odom with the stop.
And Damon Washington is feeling it. I mean, he felt it was right there. He just barely got tripped up. If he hadn't been tripped up, he still would be going.
Rarely do you say this about a team that is a ball possession team that eats up yardage on the ground. But Colorado State is a big play running team. They had some long runs in the WAC championship game. Washington had a 51-yarder. McDougal had 3 over 40 yards. 5 of 7 on third down. Blitz coming. The draw, Washington. And he got caught in it, lost the football. And Missouri's got it. Donnell Jones forced the fumble. And recovered it as well.
Well, it's not a takeaway inside the 30-yard line, but Mo Ankney will take it. It's a takeaway nevertheless, and it puts Missouri in position to get a quick score. Watch the end of the run. Washington trying to fight a little bit to pick up something extra, and he just loses the ball there. He loses the ball, and Donnell Jones makes the recovery, but it didn't look like Jones knocked it out. It looked like that ball either came out by itself or was knocked out by someone else. Yeah, that's right. It's Sterling, 48. Al Sterling got a helmet right on the ball, and Jones recovered it.
Turnovers, a buck apiece. Corby Jones is going to throw the football, or at least attempt to. Inside the 30, inside the 20. Corby Jones and the Tigers a first down inside the Colorado State 20-yard line.
And this is what is so maddening about Corby Jones. I mean, you play perfect defense, you take away the play he wants, and he still beats you for big yardage. Hey, look here. They're not going to bite on this thing at all. They're going to double cover the deep pass off the option. They're going to be all over this thing, Rich. Nobody is open. They know it. They have the play stopped. Right? Wrong. Corby Jones takes off and makes another play, a big play.
Clark Higgins chasing Jones on that play. Brock Olivo. It's the first time we've called his name inside the 15 down to the 12. He is a unique individual, Brock Olivo, the senior.
Has a reputation that is probably going to carry him down in history at Missouri. His number is going to be retired there for having won the National Special Teams Player of the Year award. So they'll retire his number.
The Mosi Tutupu award. Mo Ankney right now surrounded by the defense. You can see takeaways on that list. Ron James James, the enormous fullback, to the 6-yard line. He's got a first down. It's 1st and goal for Missouri. A look at San Diego, the Holiday Bowl, the Plymouth Holiday Bowl Festival going on all week. The picture is brought to you by the Goodyear Blimp Eagle, based in Carson, California. Our pilot, Tom Mattis, who's out of Huntington Beach. This city, of course, bracing for the biggest one.
The Super Bowl.
That's right.
Late January, right here in this stadium.
About a month away. Olivo and James in the backfield. James straight ahead. This man is 6'3", 276 pounds, and he's a fullback. He's not a lineman or a tight end moved to fullback. He's a fullback.
Yeah, and that's right. 275. You weren't exaggerating. Big guy, and perhaps the best blocking fullback in the country. And earlier in the season, they were really trying to do a lot with him. He was slamming outside, blocking people, and they were running behind him, and they weren't getting exactly what they needed. They started working him inside more and letting Jones take over with the offense. 2nd down and goal.
James has not scored a touchdown on the ground this year. Had just 32 carries coming in. Corby Jones has scored a bunch of touchdowns. He's got another one. His 15th of the season. And the Tigers capitalize on a Colorado State turnover.
Well, Rich, the first question is really, did Corby Jones get into that end zone? It looked kind of strange from this angle.
Scott Nickman, the kick, and the Tigers take the lead for the first time in this football game. 10-7, Missouri on top of Colorado State. They're already talking Heisman Trophy in '98 for that man, Corby Jones. Out of the Big 12, Missouri on top of the WAC's champion, Colorado State, 10-7. Corby Jones just getting in the end zone.
Yeah, now watch the end of this play, though. We thought from our angle that maybe he didn't get in, but watch the extra effort. He gets his shoulder over and the ball over, clearly a touchdown.
And somehow he kept his hand on the ball with all that humanity on top of him. Ball falls across the 25 to the 26.
Yeah, but Jones didn't do it by himself. Watch two things here, Rich. One, the block, and then second, you'll see Jones finish the run. You'll see a nice block by right there, Ron James, 34, but then at the end, the extra effort by Corby Jones. Now again, you'll see it from this angle, a great block by James right there, 34, and then the extra effort at the end, 221-pound Corby Jones getting into the end zone, taking on Terry, number 2.
Myron Terry, 206. Not often that a quarterback can deliver a blow like that. Moses Moreno. First possession, Colorado State took it down the field, went 85 yards. Since then, Missouri has had the answer defensively. McDougal is loose. McDougal to midfield. He's to the 30, and he's out of bounds. He had an enormous game against New Mexico. Touchdown runs of 66, 44, and 42. That a 52-yarder.
And once again, it's the inside blocking of Cesario right there, 72 and 71. This play we've seen all day long. They've run the counter tray. Once again, they get out in front. But it's the effort by McDougal that takes what should be about an 8-yard run into a huge run for him. He goes 52 yards. He now has 91 yards on 12 carries. Once again, Rich, this action, they've run this play all night long. Again, breaking tackles. That's the big play for Colorado State.
McDougal was a safety and a running back last year. He said playing safety helped him as a running back. He delivered a blow that time. Timeout, Missouri. Colorado State is on the move. Bowl week continuing with Colorado State and Missouri. The Plymouth Holiday Bowl. Colorado State on the move. At the Missouri 22. After the 52-yard run by McDougal. Moreno to put it up. for the end zone. McCoy is there. He's got it. Touchdown. Corey McCoy from Moses Moreno. Colorado State back on top.
Who said Moreno was hurt? Moreno was not hurt at all. He comes up big here, man-to-man coverage. When you're locked in man coverage, you can't get beat. This time Moreno beats the man for the touchdown. McCoy wide open against the man-to-man coverage for the easy touchdown, beating Easter.
The kick is good by Derek Franz. It's one of the toughest things about playing Colorado State. They are a running team that can throw the football. Coming up at halftime, we're headed to Pasadena. Let's go there right now with Chris Fowler.
Well, Rich, thank you. Yeah, if you take the I-5 north a couple hours, then turn off on the 110. We're at dead ends right here at the Rose Bowl. We'll have our halftime report. Lee Corso and Kirk Herbstreit will join me. We'll have a report on the Rose Bowl, focusing on the Wazoo running back, Michael Black. From Miami, an Orange Bowl breakdown, Tom Osborne's farewell game, and courtesy of ESPN News, we have bowl game highlights from this afternoon. All that coming up at halftime from Pasadena. Back down to San Diego.
Thanks, Chris. You know, there's a Washington State connection to Colorado State in a roundabout way. Sonny Lubick is a guy that really paid his dues as a coach. And we've seen this a couple times, Rod Gilmore, where we've traveled the country and talked to coaches this year. Sonny Lubick played his high school football for a coach named Jim Sweeney. Some people have heard of him, some people haven't. In Butte, Montana, that's where he started. Sweeney, of course, coached at Washington State, coached Fresno State, at Montana State as well. Out to the 25-yard line. Mike Price, the head coach at Washington State, just one of the Jim Sweeney disciples in coaching today. Let's go down to the sidelines. Chris Marlowe.
All right, you're looking at the brand new Plymouth Prowler, a beautiful car, and with me now Nick Verna, the zone manager for Chrysler Corporation in Southern California. Nick, your thoughts on the first half so far?
Chris, this is a great football game. We got two great schools, and it's just turning out to be a game we really expected to be.
Now, Chrysler, not only the title sponsor of this event, but involved in painting the stadium. Tell us about that.
Yeah, last month the stadium needed a little paint job, and we got some city volunteers, and I want to thank all the people in San Diego that volunteered to come out. We're really great to be associated with the Plymouth Holiday Bowl.
The Prowler right behind me. How important a car is this for Plymouth and Chrysler?
It's very important. This is our image car. This is our statement that we're making to the public. We all have a great line of Plymouth products, including the van behind us, the Breeze, the Neon. We got a great lineup for '98.
All right, Nick, congratulations on a new line of cars. How about one of these things for Marlowe? The Prowler for Marlowe. That would be a beauty.
Hey, let's do it. We'll take care of it after the game.
All right, give me the keys.
All right.
Back to you guys.
I'm going with Chris.
I think he'll be getting the Hot Wheels version of it. There's a look at Sonny Lubick. Lubick, of course, and Dennis Erickson was another guy that was influenced by Jim Sweeney.
And he worked with Jack Elway. Sonny Lubick did as well.
Now Missouri, Corby Jones. The pitch, Devin West. Across the 30, across the 35, and Missouri has a first down. Rick Kroll made the stop.
Well, Colorado State really hasn't stopped Corby Jones yet tonight, and he's picked up 77 yards on 7 carries. But Devin West is also picking it up when Corby Jones doesn't have the ball. He's making some plays. He's getting good blocking out there on the edge. Blackwell does a nice job, but these guys just haven't had the ball a lot. The more they get the ball, the more they'll do. Devin West, 33 yards on 4 carries, 15 on that last one.
Approaching 3.5 minutes left. Second quarter. Blackwell, the fullback, not the critic, straight ahead. He's out to the 44-yard line.
Well, you can't be very critical of Blackwell. This is a guy who has real NFL potential. I mean, he's 235 pounds, and he is the fastest man on that team. Scouts love him, and actually, Smith would love to give the ball to him a lot more, but he's got so many backs, he can't do it.
Yeah, I mean, Larry Smith told us he's one of those guys that's faster when he's chased. And And at 2:35, a guy that quick has a future on Sundays. Down to the sidelines, Chris Marlowe. Chris.
All right, just minutes ago, I overheard Sonny Lubick telling his defense to watch the Tiger offensive line. He said, watch the splits. That will give away where Missouri is going. Tight line splits, Missouri will have a tendency to run outside. Wide splits, the Tigers will go up the middle. Back to you guys.
And that's good stuff down there, Chris. What he's talking about is the space between one lineman and the next lineman when they're closer together. See, you see all that room right there? That means that they're going to go outside, according to Sonny Lubick. Let's see if it happens. Those are pretty wide splits.
They do go outside with Jones on the pitch. West. And he's got the first down to the 42-yard line.
It's one thing to know what they're going to do. It's another thing to stop it. I mean, the wide splits gives them the key that they know they're going outside. But look what they have coming outside. You've got a 215-pound back with a lead back of about 235 pounds. That's tough stuff. But that man right now is picking up all the clues on Missouri.
You know, he was Dennis Erickson's defensive coordinator at Miami, and he probably could have had that job had he wanted it when Erickson left to go to the Seattle Seahawks. He elected to stay in Fort Collins, though, and they're glad he did. Corby Jones with a rifle shot that's dropped in the end zone by Dennis Randall, who had an easy interception had he held it.
Dennis Randall did a great job. He didn't bite on the play action fake there. He was not thinking about it. But you know, there's a reason that guys like Randall and myself and others played in the secondary, because we couldn't catch. If you can catch, they turn you into a wide receiver. You can't catch, you're a defensive back. A great coverage by Randall, though.
2nd and 10. Corby Jones had 12 touchdown passes this year. But right now, Missouri not moving it through the air. Almost solely on the ground. West has a big hole, and he's outside. Devin West, he's 20. He's 10, and he's out of bounds at the 7. Eric Olson chased him out. And Missouri is in business as we come to the final moments of this first half.
Oh, we talked about great blocking. This man right here, Blackwell, is going to do a great job. He knocks off the linebacker and opens up the inside for Devin West, once again allowing him to get into the secondary. A 35-yard run, 6 carries now, 78 yards for Devin West, picking up the slack for Missouri.
On 1st and goal. It's Blackwell. He's in. And Missouri answers. Clues or no clues, Missouri ran right over Colorado State on that drive.
That they did, and 62 Morris does a nice job blocking inside. Why not let the man who delivered the great block on the last play get the touchdown here? But what a nice job by Morris, the guard, number 62.
And the kick is good. The Holiday Bowl has been long known for its shootouts and its wild endings. A high-scoring affair right now, but not in the Holiday Bowl fashion. It's on the ground, and it's a lot of fun to watch. Missouri a 17-14 lead. Hey, the Rose Bowl just up I-5, as Chris Fowler pointed out. It's 4:30 on ABC. Michigan and Washington State for a national championship. Qualcomm Stadium, site of the Super Bowl this year, and home to the Plymouth Holiday Bowl.
Rich, on that touchdown, we told you about the block of the tackle. Watch the block here of the center, Reedy. And Rob Reedy's going to do a nice job of really knocking the tackle out of the way, creating a crease, and that is a great job. When your center can do a job like that and get a little help from the guard Morris, it makes a huge, huge opening. Morris, 62, gets a nice block to the right of the screen, and then it's Reedy inside who just clears out the way.
It's a very talented offensive line for Missouri. Reedy surrounded by Mike Morris and Chris Heimberger, Todd Niemeyer, Travis Biebel. McDougal scoops it up and breaks a few tackles out to the 24-yard line, and McDougal may be hurt. And that obviously is not good news for Colorado State.
It looks like it's the lower part of his leg, ankle or knee. But he was struggling to make sure he picked up this ball as it was loose. And maybe at the end we can see what happens. And it's hard to tell from that angle, but it looked like somebody rolled on him a little bit.
Yeah,
left ankle.
Moreno back to the air. A tumbling catch by Dallas Davis, and he made it. An 11-yard pickup. Colorado State with a first down, and Rod will get a chance to see now Moses Moreno in the 2-minute drill.
That's exactly right. He's going to have to make sure that he does it wisely. You don't want to turn the ball over here when you've got a chance to get something going. If you move it out into the area where you can get a field goal or 7 points.
Inside toss, Darren Hall. And he's close to the first down. Shag Chris made the stop. Colorado State has all 3 timeouts left. And they are looking at the left ankle of Kevin McDougal. Second and short. Moreno throws right on the money. And it's Dallas Davis. And I'll tell you what, Moses Moreno was not advertised as having a strong arm, but he throws that out very accurately.
Yeah, but watch how much room that the defensive backs are giving the receivers. See all the room there, still backpedaling when the receiver is making his move to the outside. They're guarding against the deep ball. They're giving up the shorter routes, and Colorado State's eating it up.
First and 10, Rams on the move. Moreno will take the sack and probably burn a timeout here. They will, with 42 seconds left in the first half. Justin Wyatt made the sack.
Rich, we were just talking about the corners playing soft. Well, on that play, they came up a lot closer and took away the short route.
Missouri is on top. Don't go anywhere. Colorado State trying to stick it in when we're back. 17-14, Missouri on top of Colorado State. 42 seconds left. As the Rams face second down and 13. 2 timeouts left for Colorado State. Moses Moreno has completed 6 straight. Flushed out. He's caught. Al Sterling.
And Rich, I don't know why you call the timeout here now. I mean, you've just been sacked by Sterling, and you're way out of here now. 36 seconds, and you burn a timeout. You might wind up giving Missouri a chance. And watch, Sterling is going to get in here from the backside. Moreno cannot get away from him. And now, immediately his reaction is to call a timeout. Well, now you have a 3rd and forever, and you might give Missouri a chance to get the ball back.
3rd down and 26. Let's head to the sidelines. Kevin McDougal turned that ankle. Update, Chris Marlowe.
Yeah, he did turn the ankle. He's trying to walk it off. I know it's not very professional, but just a moment ago I shouted to him, "How you doing?" And he said, "I'm fine. I'm fine." I think he'll be back in. He's tough.
Yes, he is. No question about that. In the Colorado State booth, Steve Fairchild, the offensive coordinator.
Yep, he's right there on the right.
And Larry Kerr, the defensive coordinator.
He's right there on the left. Right now, he's Steve Fairchild is the one who was on the spot trying to make sure they get something done. Yeah, first 3 plays of this drive, 33 yards. The last 2, -16.
Yeah, he's leafing through the playbook right now, going, okay, let's see. 3rd down, 26. 3rd down, 26. What do we got? 3rd down, 26.
We've got a script for that.
Missouri, who had just 17 sacks all year, has been there 4 times tonight. It's Washington. And he's across midfield. And let's see if Missouri burns a timeout. Probably not, because Colorado State with a punt can stick it inside the 10. Fairchild on the right, Kerr on the left, Sonny Lubick. The guy who's one of the first things he did when he became a head coach, Rod Gilmore, was promise himself he will let his assistant coaches coach.
That's a hard thing for him to do. We're talking about a guy who won 4 national titles at Miami, was a defensive specialist, and now he's got Larry Kerr doing the job here, and he winds up peeking in on meetings a lot.
Larry Smith and Sonny Lubick will head to the locker rooms. And in the 20th annual Plymouth Holiday Bowl, the Missouri Tigers at 20th in the nation with a 17-14 lead. And Missouri has actually called the timeout, but there is no time left on the clock.
Well, you know, you mentioned that they wouldn't want to have the punt go back into their own territory, but I was thinking here, now wait a minute, why not force them to at least make the kick? You might get something out of that. They might block it. They might have a bad snap. Actually, Colorado State put themselves in this position by calling a timeout when they had the sack, when they should have let the clock run. So I don't know why Missouri would not take the shot here and try and at least get something for nothing.
If you're Colorado State, why even punt the ball with 2 seconds?
You don't. You kneel. And that's why they should have called the timeout a long time ago instead of letting the clock run down to 2 seconds. They have 1 timeout to burn, Missouri does, and they're going to take it to the locker room with them.
Moreno will probably kneel, but he might want to pause a second just to make sure that the clock does expire. Washington will take it. And Washington is inside the 35, and he's out of bounds at the 27-yard line. Sonny Lubick looking for his first bowl win. He'll head to the locker room. Down 17-14. Missouri on top. Let's head up the road to Pasadena and Chris Fowler. Tigers returning from halftime of the Plymouth Holiday Bowl. The Tigers on top right now over Colorado State. A 17-14 football game for the number 20 Tigers. Rich Waltz along with Rod Gilmore. Holiday Bowls are supposed to be like this. One team gets the lead, another team comes back. I guess the twist here tonight, Rod, is that both teams are doing it on the ground.
Yeah, I think that's right, but no surprise. It's been as good as advertised. A lot of offensive explosion in the first half and a very physical football game.
All right, let's talk numbers and let's talk highlights for Colorado State. For the Rams, they've been doing it on the ground all year. They got off to a great start, a tremendous drive, 85 yards, 13 plays, capped by this.
Well, they ran the counterplay, and come back with the reverse off the counter. Darren Hall getting the touchdown from about 14 yards out. Then after that,
Moses Moreno showing that that right arm is okay. Corey McCoy with that catch. And that for Colorado State, their 2 touchdowns. I was impressed with Missouri. Corby Jones has been doing it all year long. He's the guy that really led them back in this one.
Yeah, he did, you know, but they only had 27 offensive plays in the first half. And so pretty good job by Colorado State to keep him off the field. But they're ahead in the ball game. And they had the ball game because Corby Jones got into the end zone first to get things going for Missouri, a 4-yard touchdown run. And then they come back after a big run with Blackwell finishing it off to get in the end zone. And that put Colorado State behind Missouri now. It's 17-14 Missouri's favor.
Numbers from the first half. Total yardage pretty impressive for both sides. Look at the passing yards though for Missouri.
Yeah, Corby Jones hasn't been able to really get much going through the air, but then he hasn't had to. But sooner or later he's going to have to complete a couple of passes downfield. They've tried on the option pass play, but they have not fooled Colorado State.
1 turnover apiece. You might think that's low. For these 2 teams, that's high. These two teams, two of the best in the country at not turning it over.
The thing I'm most impressed with is Colorado State, 41 plays, only 27 for Missouri.
Missouri will get the football, or at least they'll try to. Ricky Ross fumbled it, and he pays it. Pays the price back at the 7. Good special teams work. Sonny Lubick said before the football game, our special teams can win this game. And right now, the special teams have put Missouri in a hole to start things here in the second half.
But you don't want to start this way in the second half. And Ross just takes his eyes off the ball, hits him right in the shoulder pads, and then he has to scramble just to get back on the ball. But he did a nice job of keeping his composure and not panicking.
Tigers with awful field position now inside their 10. Brock Olivo, who did not touch the football much in the first half, gains about 2 yards. Down to the sidelines, Chris Marlowe. Chris?
All right, guys, I talked to Larry Smith at the half. He thought his team was rusty. Showed good poise. One adjustment he's going to make is to run inside more against the spread out Colorado State defense. Back to you.
Chris apparently swept up in that halftime extravaganza.
We lost him.
We did. I think the X Games Bikers have got him. He took the car, he did. Out to the 14-yard line. Third down now.
Very important for Missouri to come out and establish some sort of tempo. They've had some big plays in the first half, but they really haven't established drives. They need that man, Corby Jones, to convert something on third down. They haven't been real good about that yet in this ball game, and now is the time for Corby Jones to come out in the second half and prove he can make plays happen on third down.
Well, as Chris pointed out, the rush that Missouri may have had after playing their last football game on the 15th of November, melting away a bit. Jones on the move. Got his man. And it's a first down. Kent Lehman, the sophomore, with a catch. 22-yard pickup.
Oh, we talked about Corby Jones making a play on third down. He did it that time. Most of the time, you think about Corby Jones looking to run. Not on this pass play. He finds Lehman in between the zone, behind the corner and in front of the safety. And Lehman just waits out there, trusting Jones to find him. And Jones does a nice job of not tucking the ball down and running. Instead, he finds his receiver for the first down.
17.
Lehman, a big play guy, averaged over 25 yards a catch. Best in the Big 12. Jones again to the air. Across the 40. It's a gain of about 4. Well, we saw Moses Moreno take some hits in that first half, and look who's warming up. Ryan Esslinger, the junior. Moreno had the sore right elbow and a sore everything else when Marquise Gibson planted him in the turf here at Qualcomm Stadium.
Well, remember that he was also bleeding from his hand because he had his hand up around the shoulder pads when Gibson hit him, and his helmet cut open his hand as well. So Moreno's a little bit banged up.
Missouri has dug themselves out of bad field position. They started this drive inside their 10. Jones trying to string it out. And Colorado State with a nice stop. Let's go down to the sidelines. A Moreno update. Chris Marlowe.
All right, Moses Moreno, badly sprained right foot. Not sure if he's going to start this series. Obviously, Esslinger is warming up. A couple of other notes. Jeff Turner has aggravated his knee. He's out for the game. And Kevin McDougal has a severely sprained left ankle. He's sitting right in front of me. He hopes to get back in. Back to you guys.
So, Rich, the problem with sprained ankles is that the more time you're off of them, the more they stiffen up and the harder it is to get back and play. So the worst thing for Turner with his knee also was to be out after that. And with McDougal, his sprained ankle certainly only got worse during halftime.
And another Colorado State Ram is down right now. Sonny Lubick has seen his team lose some players near the end of the season. We just talked about a couple of them. Rick Kroll, the sophomore, the linebacker, is the player down. We'll check in with him when we get back to the Plymouth Holiday Bowl.
Plymouth Holiday Bowl is presented by Plymouth. More fun, more car. That's Plymouth. And in part by San Diego. Call 1-800-701-WAVE for a free visitor's planning guide.
Rich Waltz, Rod Gilmore, along with Chris Marlowe, back in San Diego. Rick Kroll, the sophomore linebacker for Colorado State, on the sidelines. They've already had Moses Moreno, Kevin McDougal, and Jeff Turner banged up on their offensive side of the ball. Corby Jones swings it out. It's Brock Olivo. And he's out to the 44-yard line. He'll be short of the first down.
You know, Rich, and Nate Kwame is in the game for Colorado State at linebacker, one of their top players, and he made that tackle, finished it off over there, and it's good to see him in the ball game because he's been banged up.
Yeah, he had a sprained foot coming into this football game, Rod. Colorado State, the good news is they played 2 games after Missouri ended their season. The bad news is they had some guys nicked up in those games. Vince Sebo rooted one 62 yards his last time out. Darren Hall, and Hall's got some room and some speed. He could go. He will. Goodbye, Darren Hall. Touchdown, Colorado State. His second score of the ball game.
And what did Sonny Lubick say at the top of the show? Special teams, and talking to his team, you guys can make the difference. What a great block to get it going, and it's spread out wide open for Hall. And now watch the Jets. There are 3 guys who have the angle, but he has so much speed, there is no way that anybody can get him. He outruns the angle each and every time. That's his second touchdown of the night.
Colorado State on top. On the longest punt return for a touchdown in Holiday Bowl history. And Colorado State leads 20-17. ESPN continues its bowl week coverage. Wednesday, 3:30, number 22 Southern Miss against the Pitt Panthers in the Liberty Bowl. Wednesday at 3:30. Bowl week continues right here on ESPN. All 3 of us will be there for that one. Southern Miss and Pitt. 85-yard punt return. It's a record.
Colorado State does a nice job up here of holding up the Missouri guys going down on the tackles. They aren't able to get down there because they hold them up. That creates spacing, and that's all the room that Hall needs to show you his Jets. He's got a lot of get up and go, and nobody could get there to him.
2 yards better than the former record Vi Sikahema of BYU, a great special teamer.
Yeah, and a great boxer in the end zone. A little dance at the end. Not a bad dance there from Aaron Hall. He's learning to get pretty good at it for his second touchdown of the night.
And so Colorado State has the lead, 21-17.
When have you ever seen a Holiday Bowl game when it wasn't back and forth, the lead changing hands all the time?
And now Missouri will get it again. Devin West. Out to the 33-yard line. Eric Olson made the stop. Now if you're Missouri, you've seen this momentum shift a couple times in this football game. You know, they're no strangers to close games, Rod. They had a bunch of them at the end of the season. The 2 overtime win at Oklahoma State, 51-50. They won on the road at Colorado. Everyone thinks about that Nebraska game and the seesaw game as well. But those 2 wins at Colorado and at Oklahoma State, I think really showed that Missouri has arrived, and Devin West arrives at the 44-yard line with a gain of about 11. Dennis Randall made the stop.
Rich, remember Sonny Lubick said that when he sees the wide splits of the linemen, that means that they're going to run outside. When they're in tight, they're going to run inside. Well, they ran inside that time. You believe that the splits had to be tighter.
And as Larry Smith told Chris Marlowe coming out of the locker room, Missouri would like to exploit up the middle.
And see these splits, that's not as wide as we've seen before. That's a lot tighter. That means they're running inside.
Option, West. A nice move to get outside and into Colorado State territory. Multiple flags are down.
And deservedly so. And that was a very late hit. And Rich, we talked about the splits before the play. And it looks like Missouri has caught on to the fact that Colorado State is on to that. So they didn't have the big splits, and they ran the option outside, trying to cross up Colorado State a little bit. And then the personal foul at the end, that was a blatantly late hit.
Dead ball, personal foul on the defense, 15 yards, first down.
Another look.
Well, Devin West has been making plays. Watch the end. Ramson makes the tackle here. Now watch, someone comes flying in at the very last minute, and that's Taylor. That looks like Taylor who came in. No, it's actually Ross, 44, not 45 Taylor.
Arian Ross. Jones overthrew his man, Jay Murchison, who was open.
He had him. He had him open inside, but he got the ball up too high. He was afraid of throwing it lower because there was a defensive player in front. So he wanted to get it over the head. You see this man right here, he wants to get it over his head, and he wants to drop it in there. But he gets it up too high, and Murchison can't make the play.
In the box, the man in the middle with the silver hair, Jerry Burnt.
Right there. There he is.
On 2nd and 10, West inside the 30, a gain of about 4. Rick Kroll, who is back in the football game, made the stop.
Number 6, Rick Kroll. Also plays on the tackle, number 2, Conrad Terry.
Now, Rich, I think that Missouri is in the area where it's 2-down territory. And because Jones hasn't been throwing the ball very well, I don't think they're going to put it up here. I think they're thinking about running it twice if they needed to pick up the first down and to go ahead and run the option probably with Jones.
Ernest Blackwell in the game. He's in front of Devin West. Lehman in motion. It's West, and he's short of the first down by a bunch. Good play by Colorado State. To the sidelines, Chris Marlowe.
You're looking at Beth Kroll, the very relieved mother of Rick Kroll. She was so concerned about the injury, the way it looked. She came running down out of the stands, found her boy on the sideline and said, "Are you okay?" And he reassured her that he was indeed okay. Happy to report that Rick Kroll just got his bell rung, got hit in the head, a little groggy, but as you reported, back in. Touching little episode. Back to you.
Rick apparently giving his mom permission to stay on the bench. Nickman's long this year is 47 yards. This one not going to get there. Maybe it should have been 4-down territory, Rod Gilmore.
I think so. They've had trouble in the kicking game all season long. Bites them again.
21-17, Colorado State.
National Car Rental Bowl Week continues as Wisconsin takes on Georgia in the Outback Bowl. Wisconsin, Georgia, Thursday at 11 on ESPN.
High above San Diego, Colorado State 21, Missouri 17. The Goodyear Blimp Eagle with these aerial pictures. They'll be transporting Rod Gilmore, myself, and Chris Marlowe to Memphis. We're Liberty Bowl bound after this one.
Yeah, we can get there.
And about 12 of the crew going with us. Hopefully they can get that blimp going fast. The game's in a day and a half. Moses Moreno in the football game, although a little bit wounded. And Damon Washington with the carry. Rod Gilmore, Colorado State, a high-scoring team, but not in the old WAC fashion. They do it in a lot of different ways.
Oh, why throw it when you don't have to, and why do anything when you have key plays with a key player? I mean, this half, it has been the Darren Hall show. First half touchdown, 14-yard reverse. That gave Colorado State the lead. What's he do in the third quarter to get it going? How about taking a punt back all the way for a touchdown where he just smokes everybody on the field? 85 yards to put Colorado State back ahead in this ball game.
Moreno on 2nd down and 8. Missouri shows blitz. Moreno not moving real well, and he throws a low and outside fastball. Ball 2.
He's actually limping out there.
3rd down. What's not hurting on Moreno right now? We talked about his elbow. We talked about his hand. He's got the bad ankle going right now as well.
He might have a toothache we don't know about. Right now, everything is going on with him. You see him, he looks like he's having a very tough time, and when you're hurting like that, it affects your concentration.
Against New Mexico, remember, he was unable to throw the football. Sonny Lubick chose to keep him in the game and keep it on the ground. And they won the football game handily. I don't think they can do that against Missouri. They need him to throw the football successfully. And he does right near the 1st down. Corey McCoy the catch. Flag is down.
They're looking down there like it's going to be pass interference. I don't know if that's on Missouri or on Colorado State, but it looks like Missouri is going to get flagged for the pass interference or holding call.
The initial signal is just that, holding against the Tigers. The catch appeared to be right on the sticks. Harold Pearsley was on the coverage.
You know, Rich, the problem for Moreno.
Holding on the defense on a pass across the line of scrimmage. 10 yards from the previous spot.
Watch right there. Chad Chris is number 5, and he's just going to mug his man right now. He is all over Turner. He's grabbing him and holding on to him, and that's the holding call that they flag him with out there. Back to the point about Moreno. As he is hurt, he's going to have trouble really stepping into his throws and stepping off that sprained foot.
Both teams very disciplined this year, and they've shown it here tonight. Few turnovers, few penalties throughout the season. Well, let's see how fast he is now. Moreno trying to get it going. The hook slide. And he's inside Missouri territory. He's got a 1st down.
Well, he got the adrenaline going, and then he got his legs going. He looked out there, saw man coverage. There was nobody in the secondary watching him, so he just decides the best play is to take it off. Just take off and get going there. Nice slide at the end, but you have to be concerned about the kind of punishment that he's going to keep taking as he leaves the pocket.
You can see the knee brace on the left knee. The right ankle is heavily taped. The right elbow, which we talked about, so far has stayed intact. It has ballooned up with the bursa sac problem he's had this last month. Moreno's going to go for it all. Got him! Touchdown, Dallas Davis, 47 yards.
Is he Captain Courageous or what?
That should make him feel a whole lot better.
Moreno, with every part of his body aching, steps back and launches a bomb that just explodes on Missouri. Dallas Davis did a nice job of adjusting, but Moreno hurting, standing in there tough and tall, manages to get this out here. And look at the adjustment by Dallas Davis. I mean, he's a center fielder going to the wall to catch that ball.
He's a hometown kid. He's out of Fort Collins. And the Rams add the point. Down at the half, Colorado State back on top, 28-17. Dallas Davis from Moses Moreno. The WAC hasn't won this game since '92. On top right now. (28-17). Colorado State on top of Missouri on two big plays. The last one, a touchdown pass from Moses Moreno to Dallas Davis. Ricky Ross. Ricky Ross. And Ricky Ross is into Colorado State territory at the 45-yard line.
And Ricky Ross delivered a pop at the end of the run on the kicker. He says, what? I got a chance to go all the way here, and a kicker is going to get in my way. Hurst, number 19. This is a nice run, but watch the way he finishes the run. Watch the end and the blow that he delivers. Right now, he sees he's not going anywhere. Bam! Right there. Take that if you want to try and stop me. And Hurst gets in the way, and watch him again. Bam! Right over him. He drives him back 4 yards.
Yeah, but Hurst will always say, you know, in the Holiday Bowl, I made a tackle on a kickoff. It was a big hit, baby. All right, let's see now if Missouri can answer. They've been able to do it all night long. Corby Jones will keep it. Jones inside the 30, and down he goes. A big pickup. First down, Missouri. Eric Olson made the stop, 24 yards on the pickup.
But Colorado State overplays the option so much. They fly out of here. You'll see them run this way. They're thinking about taking care of that. Corby Jones then takes advantage of that over-aggressiveness and gets outside the contained man. Once he's outside, boy, is he dangerous. Olson makes the tackle, but not until they're way downfield.
CW apparently is okay.
Oh, he was never hurt.
Jones again. This time hit by Nate Kwame, the junior linebacker. Gain of about 7, and Corby Jones gets up a little gimpy.
Yeah, but you know, he's a big guy and a tough guy. We've seen Moses Moreno play tough, play hurt. Well, we know that Corby Jones has done that in his career as well. He goes at about 227 pounds. So you have to bring something to get something from him.
On the ground, he's over 108 yards. There you have it. 9 a carry. You know, in college football, when you're sacked, that's negative yardage as far as rushing. You take away his sacks this year, he's over 1,000 yards on the ground.
Yeah, great point.
On 2nd and 4. Blackwell, another first down. Ernest Blackwell. Eric Olson made another stop, but Missouri is answering.
Oh, that man, Myron Terry, is a free safety, and you've got to read things in the middle, and you have to see. Keep your eyes wide open. He's right there. He sees this coming at him. Does he close his eyes? You tell me.
You can't close your eyes. Blackwell, even though he's 235, is very quick.
He's a big man. You won't miss him, but you can't close your eyes. You got to keep your eyes wide open. Can't be a matador back there.
First and goal, inside the 10. Brock Olivo inside the 5, down to the 3-yard line.
You know, we talked about these backs for Missouri, that they're big, that they're strong, and that they can start to wear on you. Well, Myron Terry's in the middle of that secondary, and he has to come up and deal with this. We saw him miss that last tackle. Here he comes again. There's not a whole lot of want to keep taking on these big guys.
Gain of 5 yards.
Terry, 6'3", 206.
He's a big guy himself, but when you are regularly running up against backs that outweigh you by 30 pounds, it takes its toll on you.
Olivo into the end zone, touchdown. He's the heart and soul of this Missouri team, and his touchdown brings Missouri back within a score.
And that was all physical football by Missouri. They're telling Colorado State, yeah, okay, you got some big plays on us, but in order to beat us, you're going to have to be physical. Here's a punch in the mouth. And that man right there, Brock Olivo, delivered it. Coming right at you. Good blocking once again. Reedy 76 inside, but the finish on the run against Brock Olivo.
The kick is good. What else would you expect from the Plymouth Holiday Bowl? Colorado State 28, Missouri 24. ESPN continues its bowl week coverage Thursday at 11 in the morning. Big Ron Dane leads the Wisconsin Badgers against number 11 Georgia. The Outback Bowl. Bowl week continues Thursday at 11 on ESPN. Brock Olivo in the middle of that group, the Special Teams Player of the Year. It's the first year they've given that award. It's named after Mosi Tutupu, who was a great special teamer.
And played where?
USC.
And with the New England Patriots.
But Olivo is just he's a self-described nut. He does not eat red meat. His training regimen is incredible.
Watch this man right here. There's your center. That's Reedy. Watch the job he does. Nice job getting in there, creating space, taking care of the nose tackle. When your center can play like that, it makes it easier to get the touchdown.
Even his teammates think he's a little bit nuts. I mean, Mike Morris, the offensive guard, 4 years ago, I guess, challenged him to eat as many Big Macs as he could. He ate 4 of them. Olivo got sick, and from that point on, he has not eaten red meat. Darren Hall. And Hall, who's already got an 85-yard punt return, will scamper out of bounds at the 42. And it's 1st and 10, Colorado State at the 42-yard line, their own 42-yard line. But Brock Olivo, he's an incredible story.
Yeah, great story. You know, the story I like about him most of all is the time that he was challenged. He was dared to run outside in the snow when it was about 15 degrees naked. He ran naked, and he actually did it.
You like that story?
Great story, don't you think?
He plays on every special team except kick block team. And that's because the coaches say they've just run out of time. They can't get him on every special team. Corby Jones right now getting a little attention to that right ankle, and that's not good news for Missouri, but he's got time to get it patched up before he comes back in. Both these quarterbacks have taken an awful lot of taping tonight.
Well, they'll tape the inside. They'll tape that, and then they'll put a sock over it, and then a shoe over it, and then they'll tape that. So he'll get a double tape job, as Moses Moreno has.
3.5 minutes left. Third quarter. Colorado State has scored twice. Missouri once here in the second half, and Moreno going right back upstairs. His tight end Eli Workman to midfield, a gain of about 8. It's been a big second half for Moses Moreno.
Yeah, he's been a tough guy, but he's been the quarterback that he's been all season. Coming in, 20 touchdown passes, 9 picks. He gets 2 more in the second half. This one right here to his man McCoy. He wasn't finished then. He came back again with another one to his man Dallas Davis for another touchdown. So the Rams have been getting it done with Moses Moreno.
14 of 17. 61% on the season. McDougal straight ahead. He said his goal next year, Moreno, is to complete 68% of his passes.
That would be 68% for some NFL team.
His quarterback ranking this year, his rating, 10th best ever in the history of the WAC conference, which is saying something in that conference.
Well, you know, you think of the WAC and you generally think about BYU, but Colorado State has been dominating this conference for the last 4 years, coming to this game 3 out of the last 4 times.
But they have not won, and Moreno really struggled when he was here as a sophomore. Not tonight. Derek Yule in motion on 3rd down. McDougal, he's got a bad ankle. Head down, has the first down. Remember, McDougal turned an ankle. Sonny Lubick saw him on the sideline. They had to tape him up and send him back out.
We've talked about the size difference between Colorado State and their offensive line. and the linebackers for Missouri. Well, you see it again here. You see the charge by the offensive line taking on the smaller linebackers for Missouri, and then you got the back. McDougal getting in there, finishing it off afterwards. Once again, it's that power, that physical game.
And both teams can play it offensively. Moreno with time. Darren Hall to the 41. Marquise Gibson with the stop.
Well, remember how we talked about Gibson and his ability to rush the passer, and you need to get him away from linemen? Well, they move him out this time, and he's sort of a spy. He's got to drop back into coverage. He doesn't quite get to the area where he needs to be, so he isn't able to make the play on Hall. He has the speed to get it done, but he got caught up too far inside to make the play that time.
Gibson just a junior, 218 at 6'2". On 2nd and 5, it's McDougal. He's short of the first down. Ball is loose. Gibson had a piece of it. He's not real big, but Marquise is pretty active.
Very active. He's got a lot of speed. People tend to run away from him. You can run at him, but these big linemen, you're going to see Bailey right here. He's going to lead the way inside there, and he's getting a good block right there. When those guys are getting off and they get a chance to run 3 or 4 yards before they have to make a block, it is really tough to get out of their way.
Eric Bailey at 295, Anthony Cesario at 310, Mike Newell at 285, Steve Dundee 305. Moreno incomplete. Dallas Davis couldn't hold it.
I'll tell you one thing, you have to have a lot of courage to run that route. Dallas Davis is running a slant over the middle right into the teeth of where the safety will be. He knows it. He knows that there's somebody there looking him up. And when that happens, you have a tendency to short arm it a little bit, just a little bit of the old alligator arms.
I like that. You dropped that one on me last night.
Yeah, you know about those alligator arms. You don't stretch out all the way because you can't.
It's a 4th down and 2, and Sonny Lubick will punt the football. Ricky Ross is back. And a good one. Nice job on the special teams, which have been there all night long for Colorado State. Andy Engelstad on the punt by Preston Lowe's. Fire on Ice tomorrow night, 7:30 on The Deuce. Tony Amonte and the Blackhawks head to Jersey, where Martin Brodeur will stand on his head. At least that's what we expect. 7:30 on The Deuce tomorrow night. The Blackhawks and the Devils. (28-24). Just 5 seconds left on the clock in the 3rd quarter. And as Corby Jones with his freshly taped ankle comes out, the officials are going to confirm. And they put some time back on the clock. It's been a well-officiated game so far, Ron.
Done an excellent job out there. But then the calls are a lot easier, I think, when you have a running attack going, and both teams have been running the ball up and down the field.
Reset the 25-second clock.
Bill Honig making sure the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed, and the clock is set. Ernest Blackwell on the final play of the 3rd quarter. 3 quarters in the books, 28-24. We're back after this. Colorado State, champions of the WAC, Missouri out of the Big 12. If you've just joined us, too bad. You've missed a great ball game so far. Through 3, Colorado State 28, Missouri 24. What else do you expect in the Plymouth Holiday Bowl?
Yeah, what do you mean just joining? Everybody knows you get the WAC and the Big 12 together. In this ball game, it's excitement.
Corby Jones in a hole. His own 6. And down he goes at the 10.
And we talked to Larry Smith about Corby Jones, and he told us that Corby Jones reminds him of another great quarterback that he had at USC, Rodney Peete. He says the only difference between the two is that Corby Jones loves to run the option. Rodney Peete wasn't too thrilled every time that thing was called.
Larry Smith pacing the Missouri sidelines. Sonny Lubick has been a master in ball games in which he's had the lead. He's up right now. 3rd down. Jones over the middle, and I think it's short hop Jake Stuvey. Incomplete. And so Missouri must punt. Colorado State, under Sonny Lubick, 3 WAC championships. And one of the reasons why, Rod Gilmore, in ball games like this, they usually find a way to win.
Yeah, Sonny Lubick 25-1 when his team is leading after 3 quarters. That would suggest that they're in line to win tonight.
That one loss to Wyoming last year, and Wyoming, of course, went on to play in the WAC championship game and lose to BYU. Not a good punt. And Colorado State will have excellent field position. Just a 30-yard punt from Vince Sebo. The Ram is here.
And now, how did the Ram get down here? When you bring the Ram, do you bring the Ram on truck or fly it down? But take a look at this graphic. Colorado State has lost 11 games in a row to teams that are now in the Big 12. Now remember, the Big 12 was only recently formed, so all the teams there now, when they play them, they lost to them. They last beat one when they beat Colorado in '86.
They had a tremendous loss 4 games into the season. Moreno back on his feet. Darren Hall made the catch, and he's tossed to the turf. Air Force beat Colorado State. That may not even be a good way to describe it. They annihilated them. 24-0, shut them out.
And since that ball game, Colorado State has been on a tear. Yeah, they won 8 games in a row. But, you know, the other thing to think about is that if Missouri loses this ball game, what impact would that have on Nebraska's title hopes? It seems to me that if Missouri loses, there's even more of an argument that that loss, that win for Nebraska over Missouri was not that impressive. And so you may see some voters shy away from Nebraska if Missouri loses tonight.
Food for thought. Minute in, 4th quarter. Colorado State off the defensive stop in the punt. Good field position. Damon Washington. Flag down. This one's probably coming back as Washington is bounced out of bounds. I'll tell you one thing. The WAC needs a win, Rod. They're 0-2 in bowls this year. Air Force was waxed by Oregon 41-13 in the Las Vegas Bowl. Arizona beat New Mexico 20-14. And Sonny Lubick told us that 2 days ago. He said, hey, look, we need to win a bowl game. The WAC needs to win a bowl game like this.
If they go 0-3 in the postseason, the WAC will just get ripped by the critics across the country because their #1 team at 10-2 would have lost, and everyone else lost as well.
10 yards from the flag.
Let's take a look and see if we can pick up the holding there. It looks like it's going to occur right there. You see that left arm draped around Sterling. It looks like it's Anthony Cesario who had Sterling wrapped up there, and then he let go of him. Kind of chintzy.
Damon Washington's pickup taken back to midfield. Moreno again with time. And he comes up short, looking for Corey McCoy.
Well, remember, we talked about his not being able to push off of that bad foot. He's sprained a foot, so it's a little bit tough for him to step into his throws. That ball skipped. It was a short hopper, and that's, I think, directly related to the fact that he's not healthy right now. Let's watch his feet. See how he sits there? He's got to plant off that bad foot. He doesn't do a great job of it, and he knows it. But watch the nice block that Damon Washington gets on Sterling when he comes in. Right there. He sticks his nose right in there and just takes Sterling to the ground.
Washington at 193, Sterling at 246. That's quite a takedown. Colorado State has done it on the ground and in the air. Not this time, though. Kevin Ford with a big play, a stop on Damon Washington.
Now, remember, Missouri wanted to be physical, too, and they're being physical right now. This game is up for grabs at 28-24 with a lot of time to go, and Larry Smith always has believed that his teams are more physical and they can win in the fourth quarter.
Preston Lowe's will punt. Good punt coverage all night long for Colorado State. This one is a high floater. Ricky Ross drops the ball. Colorado State's got it.
And Rich, as we've talked to coaches around the country, they've all told us the one statistic that is so meaningful is turnovers. If you win the turnover battle, you typically win ball games. Missouri right now, 2 turnovers. Colorado State only 1. Ross just simply lost his ball, tried to get going, might have heard some footsteps there, but lost the ball nevertheless.
Ula Tuateli at the bottom of the pile came up with a fumble.
This is a sudden change situation for Missouri. Their defense wants to get a stop here. No more than a field goal should be allowed.
Moreno may tuck it under, but he can't get outside. You can see his mobility is really limited. Barry Odom dragged him down.
And I think that's a bad decision by Moreno. I don't think he has any business trying to make something happen right now by running the football. I mean, throw the ball away and come back the next down. Because if you get him hurt, then there's really no chance, I don't believe, of Colorado State hanging on for a win. And he's out there in the open where the linebackers are, and that kind of a hit could be the final straw to put him out of the ball game.
He loses yardage.
Second down and 12. Yard line for the Rams.
Moreno has time. Flag is down. Probably a hold. Paul Turner with the catch at the 18, but even Turner sees the flag back at the 32-yard line.
But it's not that surprising. Those linemen know they have to protect Moreno. They have to keep him in the lineup. Anthony Cesario is an all-conference player, and he's got NFL potential, and he's only a junior.
He and Mike Newell coming into this football game had not allowed a sack all year long.
Holding offense 10 yards from the flag.
And Mike Newell
Still second down.
Mike Newell doesn't allow a sack here. He's the center right here. Just keep your eye on him. You'll see the takedown right there. He is way behind the guy, and he just absolutely wrestles him to the ground. That's taking one for the team, protecting your quarterback, but it's also a holding penalty.
Brings up second down and 29.
And it turns the second down into second down and 29. 4 times Missouri has sacked Moses Moreno. To the sidelines, has his man, a catch by Davis. To the 23, he's still short of the first down. It's about a 20-yard pickup.
And that's a heck of a throw. That's a long throw. That ball's in the air a long time. But I am amazed how Moses Moreno can hang in there and still deliver this ball. I mean, he's been knocked around, and he's got to be concerned about pressure. But nevertheless, he hangs in there, and he throws a dart and gets him in position to get a score.
Boy, you could see him grimace when he threw that football.
I tell you one thing, though. That ball has got to be knocked down or picked off when it's in the air that long. As you take a look at Martez Young, the defensive back who was down on the play.
You know, you watch Moreno get knocked around and grimace every time he throws it. There's a Holiday Bowl that stands out in my mind, and that's Robbie Bosco at BYU when he was injured. I think it was 1980 or back in the early 80s, and Bosco could barely walk, and somehow he hung in there to win a football game.
Yeah, you and I were watching some of the old highlights on ESPN this week with the Holiday Bowl, Steve Young and Robbie Bosco, as you mentioned, and he was just beaten up in that ball game but hung in there, much like Moreno is doing tonight.
Sweet revenge for Moreno. He was manhandled, pummeled by Kansas State. He completed just 5 of 24 passes 2 years ago in this game. He's 18 of 23 tonight. It's third down and 10. Moreno's throw incomplete. Corey McCoy could not make the catch.
Intended receiver Corey McCoy.
And you see he's limping a little bit more right now. I think he is still trying to push off of that sprained foot a little bit, and every time he does it, it tends to hurt him a little bit more, it looks like. And they had the guy they wanted this time. He's going to get inside. Defensive back allows him to get underneath and inside. And that is a rule as a corner in man-to-man coverage you don't let happen. You have to keep that wide receiver to the outside.
C.W. Hurst, who's long this year, is 34. It's a fake. Ryan Esslinger, the backup quarterback, he's going to score. Touchdown, Colorado State. Seen a little bit of everything tonight. And Esslinger will stay on the field. Larry Smith can't believe it.
Sonny Lubick talked about special teams play, and it's been the big difference in this ball game.
The extra point good. Ryan Esslinger, the junior out of Pueblo, on a fake field goal, has put Colorado State up by 11. It's the Plymouth Holiday Bowl with the Rams on top.
Holiday Bowl is presented by Plymouth. More fun, more car. That's Plymouth. And in part by San Diego. Call 1-800-701-WAVE for a free visitor's planning guide.
An entertaining stage Qualcomm Stadium has been tonight. And they're not done yet. Ricky Ross at the 5. And Ross is out to the 34-yard line. Ryan Esslinger gets the score, but there was work up front.
Yeah, the work up front, but watch him on this time. He'll do a good job of waiting patiently before breaking into the secondary to make this happen. He has to pause a little bit. He finds the hole, and then he shows you he's a tough runner. You don't expect that from quarterback. He's got some open field moves there.
Impressive on that first hit. He would not have had the first down after that hit.
Watch right here. Tim Stuber is going to get what should be a great block, but it's actually a hold. This is the key play right there. The key block that opens up the inside, and it should have been called a hold.
A break for Colorado State. Corby Jones breaks one, breaks two, and finally runs out of room. Nate Kwame made the stop. Colorado State has had some huge plays tonight on special teams, on offense. Their scoring drives have eaten clock. This one about a 2-minute. Set up by the defensive stop and the short punt by Missouri.
Yeah, and the thing is that when you stop them and you force them to go for the field goal, it is so demoralizing for them to come back and get a score a cheap way. So it's going to be tough for Missouri to overcome that right now to get back in the ball game.
Second down. 9. Jones going nowhere. Willie Taylor made the stop.
And what a great job by Larry Kerr, the defensive coordinator. He understands that right now Missouri doesn't want to panic. So they don't want to draw back and throw it three straight times and come out. So what does he do? He plays for the option. And they take away the option. And now it's a trouble time for Corby Jones. There's Larry Kerr right there. Man who was an assistant at Stanford, UCLA, worked with Sonny Lubick.
San Jose State, Northern Arizona as well. And he's a guy that many people feel will be a head coach and a good one when he gets his opportunity. 3rd down now. 6. Jones going to scramble. Down he got rid of it. And it's caught by Olivo. Flags go down. I think Jones might have been past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, well, the line of scrimmage was about the 38-yard line. And I think when he threw that ball, he was about at the 38.5 or 39.
Tremendous effort by Corby Jones.
Illegal forward pass. Beyond the line of scrimmage. 5 yards. Loss of down. It's 4th down.
And Missouri must punt.
Yeah, well, the rule is very simple. You can't cross the line of scrimmage before throwing the ball. Corby Jones is looking to make something happen, and it's a great athletic move here, and it almost works. But the end of the play, you'll see 35, 36, 37, 38. He's at about the 39-yard line when he throws the ball. He's over the line of scrimmage.
Very close. Vince Sebo to punt. Remember, Darren Hall has an 85-yarder for a touchdown tonight. And Hall with a fair catch, flag down. 2-yard cushion you've got to have. I don't think he had it.
No, Shad Chris got right in his face. And you have to give the punt returner 2 yards to catch the ball. And he didn't do it.
Interference with the opportunity on the kicking team. 2-yard down, 5 yards, 1st down.
It's like the cone of silence. You can't go inside it. You got to let him catch it. 35-24, Colorado State. That man was a player in his day, Ricky Hundley. He's an angry assistant coach right now for Missouri. 35-24, Colorado State on top.
Ricky Hundley played at Arizona and played for the Denver Broncos in the NFL for a long time, among other teams. 7 years in that league.
Played for Larry Smith at Arizona. Now coaching with him. He's part of the special teams unit, and that's been a difference tonight. Coming up after this Plymouth Holiday Bowl, Sports Center with Dan Patrick and Steve Levy. Peyton Manning update. Curtis Enos, a status report. And Jordan goes for a record. That's Sports Center. That's tonight. Peyton Manning with the burster sack problem with the knee. And we have Moses Moreno with the right elbow.
I have a feeling Dan Patrick might say that Moses Moreno, you can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him.
Now that you've said it, I don't think Dan will.
Tune in.
David Washington to the 35-yard line. All of a sudden, Rod, the clock a factor. And if Colorado State can move the sticks and keep the clock rolling, they'll be on their way to a bowl win.
Well, big factor because there's a big offensive line that has been doing the job tonight. And again, Anthony Cesario, 72, again leading the way with a great block and a nice cutback by Damon Washington. But what you're seeing from Colorado State is physical football. They threw the ball just enough to keep Missouri off stride. But they're coming back and they're pounding again, saying, hey, we can play tough football in the WAC.
Moreno's going to call a timeout. Play clock was down to a single second. And he'll burn the timeout. We've got a few left. We'll take one as well. 7:44 left in the Plymouth Holiday Bowl. Colorado State on top.
It was late Friday afternoon when the call came in. Someone needed service on their garage door quick. That's why they called me. I'm Craig Gandert of Gandert Garage Doors. It's what I do. I answered the call that same evening and had their door operating in no time. 6 months later, they called me when they wanted a replacement door. For 3 generations, when the question was garage doors, the answer was Gandert. It still is. It's an open and shut case. Gandert Garage Doors.
Graham. The name stands for savings and selection.
And here at Graham Ford, we've never seen such great values in new cars and trucks.
Lowest prices of the year with final markdowns on all remaining 97s.
Introductory markdowns on all new 98s.
New Ranger XLT pickups with overdrive, cassette, deep dish wheels, all season tires and more.
MSRP $14,425, now only $89.95. You save over $5,000.
Don't wait. Hurry into Graham Ford now.
Unless our name's on your car truck, you paid too much.
Wow. Hey, Rich.
Stuart, you shouldn't have. I didn't get you anything.
It's all right. Don't worry about it.
How'd you know?
I just, come on, put it on. Put it on.
All right. All right. You knew my size and everything.
It looks good.
Thank you.
It looks...
Feels good. Thanks.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, man. Cool.
Even the Goodyear Blimp has enjoyed this one. Colorado State 35-24 on top of Missouri. And the Rams have the football, their own 35, faced with 3rd down and 1.
Big 3rd down for Missouri.
Washington, big hole. And he's got the 1st down out to the 42-yard line. Big pickup by Damon Washington. Speaking of him, let's go down to Chris Marlowe.
You know, Damon Washington was a high school star here in San Diego. He was recruited by all the biggies, UCLA, Nebraska, and Washington. However, he ended up at Colorado State. The reason why is the biggies wanted him to play defensive back. Washington said, no, I want to play running back. And the coaches at that time, Dave Lay and Steve Fairchild, said, hey, come to Fort Collins. You can play running back. Well, 3 years later, 3,000 yards, Colorado State has a keeper. Damon Washington, back to you.
And Chris, he's only a junior, and McDougal's only a sophomore. This is going to be a good Colorado State team for a while. Moreno gingerly slides across the 45 to the 46. Al Sterling made the stop.
Nice move on his part to get away from Steve Erickson. 94 Erickson was in the backfield, had a shot at Moreno, but couldn't make the play. Even with the bad foot and all, Moreno was able to get away from it. And if you are Missouri, you have to start thinking about run blitzes and the like to try and stop the running game and get the ball back. As you see Colorado State averaging 37 points a game. Tonight they have 35.
2 tight end set, Washington behind Moreno. Washington again, he's got a big hole into Missouri territory, close to another 1st down. Harold Piercy, Kevin Ford made the stop.
You know, this is a play that Barry Sanders loves. It's just that inside stretch play. You'll just see them stretch out, and then you'll get Washington cutting in behind it. What a great blocking job. Cesario doing a great job again. They're burying people at the line of scrimmage. Washington getting in behind it, finding a soft area, and cutting back off of it. That offensive line has been stellar tonight.
That's a young unit as well. Just 2 seniors on that offensive line. 3rd down, less than a yard. Washington keeps the feet moving, and he's very close.
Well, Al Sterling did a great job that time. 48th inside linebacker. He shot up in there and took on the big lineman, and he won.
Sterling is a great story. He came to Missouri as an out-of-shape nose tackle, and he was on the scout team, and he just sort of won the heart of Mo Ankney and Larry Smith by hard work, great work on the scout team, and all of a sudden an injury here, an injury there. He's starting at middle linebacker.
Yeah, well, you know, he actually quit the team. Yeah, he went home, had girlfriend problems, and the coaches were a little bit bummed and upset. He didn't get back right away. Came back. He worked his way back up. Mo Ankney now says, you know, he's a real great story. I love the kid. I'm glad he's on the squad.
Sonny Lubick looking out to Moses Moreno on 4th down and short. Moreno will wait for the play clock to come close to expiring and call a timeout. So the Rams have burned 2 of their 3 timeouts here in this series. Larry Smith and the Tigers need to find an answer. They're down 11. After a conference, Sonny Lubick and Moses Moreno and the rest of the Rams have decided to punt the football. On 4th and 1, Colorado State with an 11-point lead, just under 5 minutes left in the football game. Preston Lowe's will punt it. Ricky Ross, who has fumbled a return tonight, lets it roll out of bounds. And now the Tigers will try to get it headed in the right direction.
Speaking of that, the man who got the Tigers going in the right direction was Larry Smith. Since he's been at that program, he's done a great job turning it around. Coach of the year this season.
And you know, Rod, he had a year out of football after getting fired by USC. He was really at a crossroads in his career.
Yeah, one of the things that he did was he went around the country visiting friends and coaches, guys like Joe Paterno and actually our colleague and friend Phil Curry at ESPN. And they helped him. They talked through the things he had done right at USC and confirmed for him that he was teaching the right things and not to give up on coaching.
Corby Jones still on his feet, and Jones is out to the 33-yard line. And when you've got Corby Jones, you're not out of a football game. Arian Ross made the stop.
As Larry Smith went around the country, what he found was that basic football, blocking and tackling, and the way that he was teaching it was still the focus, and it still worked. And was he relating to his players? He found out that he was. And so he was able to take all that into consideration and then wait for the right opportunity at Missouri.
And he really feels Missouri is the right opportunity. Blackwell, the catch. Actually, it was West, and he's short of the first down. To the sidelines, Chris Marlowe.
All right, let's clear up one thing. My man Cam the Ram never flies to an event. He was driven in the back of a trailer from Fort Collins to San Diego. 2 days it took, 12 hours. Is that right, guys? 22 hours, and he ate alfalfa all the way. He's having a happy day. Back to you.
You know, you can get that at some drive-thrus. But you got to look hard. Eric Vaughn made the stop. And I would expect that Cam the Ram will do a little celebrating tonight before he heads back to Fort Collins, if Colorado State can hold this lead. Missouri on the move, but running out of time. Corby Jones running out of the pocket to midfield and into Colorado State territory. Ball is loose, but Jones was down. And Missouri will hurry it up. You can see Larry Smith trying to get him up to the line of scrimmage. Sports Center coming up after this Holiday Bowl. Colorado State on top.
Well, Missouri is standing around a little bit too much. They need to get to the line of scrimmage and have a sense of urgency because they need 2 scores.
Jones has not done a whole lot of throwing lately, just a lot of scrambling, and boy, does he take a hit. Clark Higgins. And Larry Smith wants a timeout with 3 minutes left. The Tigers and Corby Jones with a lot of work to do. They trail Colorado State in the Plymouth Holiday Bowl. Well, Sports Center is next. Divine intervention might be needed by Missouri. A draw to Olivo, who has the first down. The clock will stop as they move the chains.
Well, they're having a little bit of trouble with their passing game. Missouri is. Watch this. This is 2 plays ago. They have only 2 guys running deep routes and then 1 guy running a short route, and there are 7 or 8 guys back in coverage. You can't run a 2-minute offense with only 3 guys in the pattern. You have to give Corby Jones more options down the field.
Jones throws it down the field and misses.
That time they had 5 guys in the pattern. So he had a few more options. They were spreading things out. But you just can't run the 2-minute option and expect 3 wide receivers to beat 6 guys in coverage. Or 7 guys, which they had last time.
2nd down and 10. Sonny Lubick in Colorado State, looking for their first Holiday Bowl win.
He told us that getting a win tonight would be a huge relief, a chance to get a win in a bowl game that has been elusive for him.
He is one of the more candid head coaches you'll meet in college football. Jones. Lehman is drilled. Eason Ramson.
Yeah.
Yes, he is the son of the former tight end. And Daddy would be proud of that hit.
Yeah, Dad played with the 49ers for a number of years before heading over to the Denver Broncos. Dad was a tight end. This is a corner, and he's a big hitter. He's played well tonight. You haven't heard his name a lot because when he's been in coverage, he's blanketed his receiver.
4 of 10 on 3rd down. Not necessarily 4-down territory, because a field goal would get them within a touchdown and a 2-point, but they need some yardage to get themselves in field goal territory. They'll get some yardage from Olivo, who for the 2nd time on a draw play may have picked up a 1st down. They'll mark it at the 30. He's just short.
And how surprising. Brock Olivo has been the heart and soul of this football team. His work ethic has established the tone for this team, so when they need to get it done, they go to him late in the game.
And a difficult spot, Rod, because it's 4th and short, but they don't have time to stop the clock and huddle up and call what they want. Jones may just keep it here. Option has the 1st down. Clock will stop briefly. We're under 2 minutes. Jamie Bennett made the stop.
Clock management so important here. Clock is stopping. They have timeouts left, 2 of them, so they really need to get in the end zone quickly and have at least 1 timeout left if they can convert an onside kick to try and get in position to tie the ball game.
We've seen it done this year. Rod and I did the Purdue-Michigan State game. Michigan State had an 11-point lead with 2 minutes left, and Purdue came back and won that football game. Corby Jones throws it incomplete. And it's 2nd down and 10. In fact, when Sonny Lubick was an assistant coach starting out at Montana State, one of his compatriots, Joe Tiller, the head coach of Purdue. Tiller is one of those guys that was touched by Jim Sweeney along with Mike Price.
What Sonny Lubick wants out of tonight, more so than just a win for himself, is a win for this team and a win for the WAC conference. He wants the WAC to get some national recognition as being a good conference, and a win tonight over Missouri would certainly help.
They got a little last year with BYU's Cotton Bowl win, but at 0-2 so far this year. This is the final WAC team in a bowl game. Jones fakes the draw, unloads it. Olivo inside the 25. Flag is down, back of the 30-yard line. Clock will stop. Eric Vaughn made the stop. Coming up next, Sports Center. Steve Levy, Dan Patrick. All the highlights.
No flag on the play. No flag on the play. You got it.
They'll pick up the flag, and Missouri will burn the timeout. A minute and a half left in the Plymouth Holiday Bowl. Larry Smith is running out of time. 35-24. Missouri burning that timeout. And the Tigers have 1 left. Shotgun for Jones. Lehman in motion. Corby, a bullet, and it's caught. Eddie Brooks at the 11.
And a heck of a throw. He threw that in between 3 defenders. And Corby Jones had to deliver, and he came through that time.
Clock stopped. It starts now. Jones in trouble. Stays on his feet, throws it, and it's picked off. Intercepted by Eric Olson. And this one might just be done.
But Corby Jones was trying to make something happen. It was an ill-advised throw. He didn't have a chance to get anything done. He was hoping for an in-the-grass call. More than likely, he should have simply thrown that ball away when he had the chance, or taken the sack and hurried back up to the line of scrimmage. But you'll see it here. Right now, he's going to figure out he doesn't have anything to do because Taylor is right on top of him. But he tries to get out of it and then just throws it up for grabs. And Olsen's right there. And Larry Smith knew that that was just the wrong thing.
And Colorado State can run out the clock now. McDougal straight ahead. And the celebration will start in Fort Collins. The Rams, for the first time in their school's history, will get their 11th win in a football season.
And for Sonny Lubick, the third time is a charm. In '94, they came here and they lost to Michigan. They came back in '95 and they lost to Kansas State. And tonight, they face a team from the Big 12 in Missouri, and Sonny Lubick will get his first Holiday Bowl victory.
9 straight wins for this football team, who was 2-2, Rod, after losing to Air Force. And losing bad to Air Force. They lost to Colorado by 10. Missouri's, what a roller coaster Missouri has been on emotionally this year.
Yeah, but they have every reason to be proud of what they've done this season, almost knocking off Nebraska, being in a position to get a win in the bowl game. Certainly a great return to respectability for Missouri.
And of course, the Tigers are a young football team. Their leader, Corby Jones, he'll be back next year. Missouri can't stop the clock. McDougal is out to the 30. And the Rams will have to snap it one more time. If you were with us at the outset of the broadcast, Sonny Lubick in the locker room told his team essentially 2 things. Number 1, we can be physical with Missouri. They were. Number 2, special teams can win this football game. And they had a big hand in it, Rod.
Absolutely. And the man who was really huge for them in the special teams area, there's the Gatorade bucket on Sonny Lubick. But it was Darren Hall who came up with some big plays, particularly the punt return of 85 yards for a touchdown that got it done for them.
And this Holiday Bowl winding down, 35-24. Sonny Lubick and the Colorado State Rams, the champions of the WAC, the champions of this Plymouth Holiday Bowl. Three WAC championships and finally a bowl win.
Tigers 24.
One of the good guys in coaching, 2 of the good guys in coaching, Larry Smith and Sonny Lubick at the 50-yard line. 35-24, the final score. Coming up next, Sports Center. The Blip tonight, provided by who else? Goodyear Aqua-Tren. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Chris Marlowe and Rod Gilmore, I'm Rich Waltz. A win for the Rams, a win for the WAC. Colorado State beats the Tigers.
And we will ask...